Hello, everyone, and welcome. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, along with the head coach Doug Pederson. Our weekly one-on-one presented by Wawa. And Doug, congratulations getting to the playoffs.
Thanks, Dave. Happy New Year to you,
thank
first
you.
of all. But
for
it's exciting.
For a moment, we have to kind of just live in the moment here and really enjoy the journey.
We have to. I mean, we have to enjoy the journey we've gone on. We have to enjoy this moment, obviously, because they don't come around all the time. And, of course, we're right back to work and getting ready for the Bears this weekend.
Bears are a 12-4 team, winners of their division, outstanding football team. The defense is what I want to start with. When you look at that defense, what do you see?
You see a team that really gets after the passer. You know, the addition of Khalil Mack has really made an impact on that front. The secondary is really flying around. It's an opportunistic defense. I think the number one team as far as takeaways, interceptions in particular. They're very opportunistic that way, and you know it's a challenge. It seems like every week it's a challenge, but now that you're in the postseason, you're going to start seeing these good football teams, and the Bears obviously are one of them.
When somebody like Khalil Mack is on the lineup or on the menu for somebody like Lane Johnson, it just seems like Lane really loves that kind of challenge, that kind of big name across the line of scrimmage. Have you seen that from him over the course of his career?
I have, and he really does rise to the occasion. You know, it was no different a couple weeks ago, obviously, with Sue and Aaron Donald, and then we come back and you got J.J. Watt and Clowney, you know, and then of course, you know, you got Ryan Kerrigan with the Redskins, and now it's no different. Now Khalil Mack comes to town, and you know, it's just like one week after the next. I mean, we keep getting these good defensive lines, especially these DNs, outside linebacker types, but Lane, I mean, he's played really well these last few weeks, and just got to keep him coming, keep him plugged in, engaged, and I expect another good performance out of him.
How about the rest of the offensive line? Wiz in at left guard, Jason Peters playing really well on Sunday against the Redskins. You feeling good about that group?
I am. These guys have really starting to come into their own. They're starting to gel. They're clicking. It seems like my message each week is I'm like a broken record. We got to control the line of scrimmage, We got to run the football, things like that. Well, each week we got to do that, and it starts with those guys, and they've really done a nice job these last couple of ball games, being able to run the football like we have, and really keep our quarterbacks clean, off the ground as much as possible, and really feel like they're playing well right now.
Doug, you said on Monday that Nick Foles would start this playoff game. He's got the chest injury, I guess the ribs. How will you manage him during the week?
Well, we'll just keep him day by day and just see how he feels and go from there. But, he's good. He's feeling good. And we got the walkthrough again on Wednesday coming up. And then we'll practice Thursday, Friday. So, day by day and just work him back in, ease him back in, and get him ready to go.
The degree of toughness is required to play the quarterback position. You've done it. How tough do you have to be?
You have to be mentally and physically tough. And you're going to get hit, you're going to get knocked down and banged around, and as part of the game. But one of the things that I feel like our quarterbacks possess is they possess that toughness where they can stand in the pocket, deliver a strike down the field, and still take a shot, and then bounce up and do it again. And Nick is no different. Carson's the exact same way. So, I'm excited about that. But, our job as coaches is to make sure that our protection is sound, make sure we got the guys in the right position, and then, of course, the players around our quarterback have to do their job in protection and keep them clean. But it's a tough task, but really appreciate what our guys go through.
From a philosophy standpoint, is that why you have three big guys at quarterback? Do you lean toward a larger sized quarterback?
Not necessarily. It's just happened that way. I feel like we got a basketball team out there with the three guys we have. But no, it doesn't have to always be a big, tall, physical guy like that, with a big, mass, whatever. You can do it with a shorter, smaller guy, quicker guy. Say a Michael Vick type or Russell Wilson type guy, you can get away with that. So it just happens that we have big quarterbacks.
Doug, how would you kind of trace the journey of the offense this year? Carson's not there at the beginning of the year, so and neither is Alshon. It's hard to kind of get continuity. Then you get everybody, then it changes again. It's just there's been so much change. But now in these last 6 games, it really seems to have come together.
It has, and I think that's the journey of this season in particular, is trying to figure out and kind of find out who we are as an offense. As you said, we didn't have Carson early, Alshon early, then we lose Jay Ajayi, and then Corey Clement, and then we're shifting the offensive line a little bit. Isaac goes down, and we're a lot of our pieces are missing, and we're plugging in guys everywhere. But I think you spend the first month and a half trying to figure out your identity. Well, we were trying to figure out who we're going to have healthy to play. And then that next month and a half, now we're trying to figure out exactly who we are. So by then it's about 8 weeks have gone and 9 weeks have gone by. So I think now we're finally catching our stride, catching our rhythm, understanding who we are. We know we got to, try to run the football each week and try to establish a line of scrimmage and do all those things we talk about. But I think what you're seeing now, balls out on time, quick rhythm throws. The RPO game is still there, play action pass game, and I think too our quarterbacks like to move the pocket a little bit, get outside the pocket where we know Carson's extremely accurate and good at it. Nick is good at it, and then of course you saw Nate throw the touchdown pass the other night to Nelly by doing that. So I think we've kind of figured out where we are and who we are. It took us about 17 weeks, but I'm okay with that going into the postseason.
Along the way, you took a lot of criticism. Mike Groh stood up every week and took bullets from the media. Never seemed to internally affect you guys. Why did it not affect you?
Well, one, it's our job. We're here too, and my job is to protect my coaches and protect our players. And then number two, we've got so much confidence in our ability as coaches to make sure our players are ready to go on game day. And then we just basically quite frankly just trust our players, and we know the type of team we have, the character, the leadership. And that goes a long way, because a lot of times the media, they don't get a chance to see our guys interact with one another at practice during the week and in the meetings and in the classroom and things like that. And to me, that's what kind of will set a team apart, say from another team that maybe doesn't make the postseason. It's just how we interact and kind of love on each other a little bit. And that's sometimes what the media doesn't see, but we see it, and therefore we have a lot of confidence in our guys.
As Eagles fans are watching this game on Sunday, what will they see from the Bears offense? You are familiar with Matt Nagy. What kind of offense do they run?
Very similar to what Kansas City's running right now. Tariq Cohen is a guy is much like a Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's fast, he's quick. They're going to move him all around the formations. You're going to see jet sweeps. You're going to see unique formations from Coach Nagy. And Trubisky's a guy that they're going to use the run game and some rhythm play action pass to keep him on task. So with all the moving pieces, we've got to be disciplined. It's much like the Rams game a couple weeks ago with all their moving parts. We stayed real disciplined and had a favorable outcome. So work's cut out for us. It's a good football team, obviously, that we're going up against, and guys are up for the challenge.
Doug, how did last year prepare you for this moment?
Guys that have been in the postseason, they understand. And we've got a lot of guys on this roster that just last year were in the postseason, and they know exactly what it takes. And it's a one-game mentality. It's a do-or-die situation, and your back's against the wall. I mean, it's just the way it is. And we've learned from last year. We're gonna use that to hopefully to our advantage this weekend on the road. I mean, that's the card. The difference, I guess, is that we're on the road now throughout the playoffs. If we get a chance to keep winning and instead of playing, at the link. So, we've had some success doing that. We went out to LA and won. We just got back from Washington and won. We've had some big games on the road, so our guys are ready to go.
Let's go do it. Eagles at the Bears Sunday, 4:40 on NBC. Happy New Year to Doug Pederson. Happy New Year to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Our weekly one-on-one presented by Wawa.